Hello, everyone. Mrs. Caulfield here to read Junie B. Jones, First Grader at Last. I'm actually going to read 2 chapters today because if I don't catch up, we're going to run out of time because we only are in school until June 16th. So I'm going to read chapters 3 and chapters 4. So sit back and enjoy. Chapter 3 is called Stumped. Me and Herb walked it into room 1 from the bus. He waved it to Mr. Scary, then I waved it too. I'm not even scared of that teacher, hardly, I said to myself. We just kept walking to our seats. May was already sitting at her desk. She was organizing her pencil box. Lenny was at his desk too. Only wait till you hear this. I didn't even recognize that guy almost because Lenny had a thrilling new haircut, that's why. And it was pointish and spikish and stiffish and straightish. That hair can puncture you, I think. Whoa, I said. Cool, said Herb. Gel, said Lenny. Shh, said May. Just then, Jose came hurrying down the row. He was rushing real fast because the bell was almost ready to ring. Hola, everyone, he said. He was out of breath. Hola, hola. Me and Herb and Lenny looked curious at him. Jose grinned. Oops, he said, hola means hello in Spanish. I know 2 different languages, and sometimes I forget which one I'm speaking. Wow, Jose, I said, you really speak 2 languages? Cool, said Herb. Big deal, said May. I know Spanish too. I can count all the way to 3 in Spanish. Do you want to hear me? The rest of us looked at her. Not really, said Herb. Not me, said Lenny. No, not me either, said Jose. May didn't pay attention to us. Uno, dos, tres, she said real loud. I leaned nearer to her and said, shh. Then everyone laughed and laughed, but not May. Pretty soon the bell rang and Mr. Scary got our morning started. First, he took attendance of the children. Then we said, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Plus, also, we listened to a boring bulletins from the office. Finally, Mr. Scary walked to the chalkboard and he printed a list of words. Boys and girls, he said, this morning I have a fun assignment for you. He winked it at us and pointed at the list. I want you to read those words to yourself, he said. Then, without talking to your neighbor, choose any word from the list and draw a picture of it in your journal. May squealed, real thrilled. Oh, goody, goody. I love this kind of assignment, Mr. Scary. I am perfect at not talking to my neighbor. After that, she quick took out a pencil out of her pencil box and started to draw. I stared at the words. And then I tapped in my chin and I scratched in my head because I didn't actually get this assignment. That's why. I said. I glanced in my eyes at Herb and Lenny and Jose, and all of them were drawing too. And I looked back at the board again. And then I stretched my neck as far as it could go, and I squinted harder. But those words had me stumped, I tell you. Finally, I reached out to Herb, real secret, and I tapped at him on his back. Psst, Herb, I whispered. Quick question. Which word are you drawing? May did a loud gasp. She jumped up from her seat and pointed at me. Mr. Scary, Junie Jones is talking to her neighbor. See her? She's talking to Herbert, and that's against the rules. I turned in my head. Blabber lips, I yelled. Blabber lips, May. Mr. Scary looked at us. His mustache was not smiling. I did a gulp, and then I quick opened my journal and I started to draw. Chapter 4, Clucks. We drew and drew in our journal. Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done, and then we walked it around the room, and he looked at everyone's picture. He gave out shiny gold stickers. First, he gave stars to Camille and Chenille. What great-looking dogs you drew, he said. Look at those floppy ears. Lucille raised her hand. Look at mine, teacher, she said. I drew a cat with pointy ears. See, my rich Nana has an expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a foot thick, I think. Really, Lucille? A whole foot thick. My, he said. He gave her a gold star and moved on. He went to a boy named Roger, and Roger was in my same class last year. Excellent job, Roger, Mr. Scary said. You drew a man wearing a coat. The word man and coat were both on the list, weren't they? I did a frown, because none of those words were actually sounding familiar to me. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. Cool bat, cool ball, Sheldon, he said. And Shirley, you drew a bat and a ball too, didn't you? I put my head on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to May, and May said, wow, what a special clock you drew. The big hand has 5 fingers, and it's very unusual. May said, I created it myself. Plus, clock was the hardest word up there, wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I'm the only one who even drew a clock because I knew what the word was, I bet. Just then my stomach felt sickish inside. I quick closed in my journal and stuffed it in my desk, and Mr. Scary saw me. Junie B, he said, don't you want to show me your drawing? Don't you want a gold star for today? I shook my head real fast. Nope. No, thank you. No, I don't. I said, not today. I really, really don't care for a gold star today, but thank you for asking, Mr. Scary. Mr. Scary kept standing there. The end, I said. He did not budge. Please move along, sir, I said. Finally, Mr. Scary bent down to me and he lowered his voice so no one else could hear. I'm sorry, Junie B, but I'd really like to see what you drew. I need to make sure that you understood the assignment. Then, before I knew it, he took out my journal out of my desk and he gave it to me to hold. After that, he walked into the hall and he let me show my drawing in private. And guess what? He liked it, I think. Oh, wow, look at Junie B, he said. You drew a wonderful picture of he kept looking. A screaming chicken, I said finally. Mr. Scary did a strange face. Yes, right. It's a screaming chicken. It's a screaming chicken, I said. I pointed out its mouth. See how it's screaming cluck, cluck, cluck? I used capital letters for the clucks. Capitals are when you're screaming, correct? Well, yes, I suppose so, said Mr. Scary. But the thing is, Junie B, the word cluck wasn't on the board today. I know. The word was on the board. The word on the board was clock. Only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess, because I accidentally thought it was the word clock. I tapped at my chin. What I actually wanted to draw was a butt and a bull, I said. I really liked the sound of that one, but I didn't know how to get started exactly, so I went ahead with the cluck idea. Mr. Scary looked confused. Do you mean the bat and the ball? I smiled, kind of embarrassed. Yeah, well, I read those words wrong too, I guess. Then I said, they turned it out to be bat and ball, I guess. Mr. Scary frowned. What about other words on the board, Junie B? Do you remember how you read some of the other words? How about dog and cat and coat and goat? I thought back. Then my voice got real quiet. Dog and caught and coot and you. I said. Mr. Scary nodded, and then he patted my hand very nice, and he gave me back my journal, and he walked it back into room 1. And that was chapter 4. Chapter 5 is called Bug Bag. And what that's about. Until then, take good care, be good.